Imagine waking up one morning and, when you open your front door, you find your entire building mysteriously surrounded by a black wall. You open the window, but the same wall is there too. Now, you have neither food to eat nor water to drink. The story begins with a man named Kim, who is lost in his thoughts. There is a sense of regret on his face. He gets up and goes to the bathroom. Just then, his wife Olivia calls out to him from behind. Olivia is hungry, so the two of them decide to go to a restaurant outside their apartment for dinner. However, when they step outside their apartment, they notice that the entire building has been covered by what looks like a giant black cloth. At that moment, they don't pay much attention to it. The next morning, Kim wakes up and realizes that Olivia is no longer in bed. He starts looking for her and eventually finds her standing near the door. A short while earlier, Olivia had suffered a miscarriage, and both of them had been deeply troubled by it. Olivia wants Kim to leave the city with her and start a new life somewhere else. But Kim refuses because of his work, so Olivia decides to leave on her own. However, the moment she opens the door, she discovers that the exit has been completely blocked. A huge black wall is covering the doorway. Olivia thinks Kim must have done it and starts yelling at him. But Kim is equally shocked and has no idea where the wall came from overnight. They look around, but there is no way out. Olivia tries calling the landlord, but there is no network because the black wall surrounds the entire building. Olivia then brings a drilling machine and tries to make a hole in the wall. But the wall is incredibly strong, making it impossible to drill through. Suddenly, they hear some noises coming from the neighboring apartment. Olivia drills a large hole through the wall, and they discover a man named Gale and his wife, Anna, on the other side. They are also trapped just like Kim and Olivia because the same black wall is blocking their apartment. Anna is terrified and tells Kim and Olivia that maybe they are all going to die there. Hearing this, Kim immediately runs to the kitchen and turns on the tap. But no water comes out. He checks the bathroom as well, but there is no water there either. This causes an argument between Kim and Olivia. Olivia reminds him that she had asked him to go to Paris with her the previous night, but he had refused because of work. If they had left yesterday, they wouldn't be trapped there now. Olivia angrily walks into the room. Kim also gets frustrated and throws his phone against the wall. A little while later, Kim notices something strange. Part of the phone has become stuck to the black wall. He walks closer and tries to pull it off, but the phone immediately sticks back to the wall. Seeing this, they gather all the metal objects they have and place them against the wall. Suddenly, Kim realizes that something is wrong. Before they can understand what is happening, all the metal objects suddenly fly back toward them. Kim manages to save Olivia, but he gets badly injured in the process. Olivia treats all of his wounds and bandages him. Just then, they hear some noises coming from their neighbor's apartment. They go to the hole in the wall and try to look through it, but they can't see anything, so they make the hole even bigger and enter their neighbor's apartment. Once inside, Kim notices bloodstains on the floor, so he becomes extremely cautious. When they enter one of the rooms, they find Anna lying on the floor. She is still conscious. Suddenly, Gale attacks Kim from behind. But Olivia quickly sprays something into Gale's face and forces him away from Kim. Kim starts moving toward Gale, intending to fight back. But Anna suddenly steps between them and stops Kim. It turns out that Anna had been trying to break through the black wall. During the struggle, she accidentally injured Gale, which explains the bloodstains. Gale, on the other hand, thought Kim had broken into their apartment to kill them, so he attacked him in self-defense. Eventually, the misunderstanding is cleared up. However, Kim ties both of Gale's hands so that he won't attack anyone again while under the influence of drugs. Kim then starts looking for another way out. He notices a room with a private sign on the door. Kim breaks the door open and finds an axe inside. He takes the axe and begins striking the black wall. But Gale tells him to stop because they will never be able to break the wall that way. Then Olivia suddenly gets an idea. The building they are in was constructed in the 1800s. That means if they can reach the basement, there should be a bunker beneath the building that connects to an underground train system. After hearing Olivia's idea, Kim immediately starts breaking through the floor. After working continuously for some time, they finally manage to create a large hole in the floor. Kim then uses a piece of cloth to climb down into the room below. But another problem is waiting for them there. An old man named Oswald, who lives in the building, points a gun at Kim because he believes they have come to steal his food. Just then, a girl named Leah appears from behind him. She tries to convince her grandfather to lower the gun, but he refuses to listen. Olivia then asks the old man about the underground tunnel beneath the basement and explains everything that has happened. After hearing the truth, the old man finally trusts them and lowers his gun. Now, everyone works together and starts breaking through the floor of the old man's room. Just then, Kim's eyes fall on a smoke detector. But there was actually a camera installed inside the smoke detector. Tim thinks that maybe Grandpa had installed the cameras himself, but when Grandpa denies it, Tim immediately checks the other smoke detectors. To his shock, every single one of them has a camera installed inside, just like the first one. After seeing this, Gale suspects that their landlord might be behind everything. He thinks they may have been trapped there so that wealthy people could watch them, allowing the landlord to make money from it. Just then, Olivia points toward the side wall. The landlord's house is located on the other side of that wall. So, they decide to break through it. They want to find the landlord and learn the truth from him. When they enter the house, they immediately feel something strange. The entire place is completely silent. As they enter one of the rooms, what they see makes their blood run cold. Gale immediately runs toward the bathroom to vomit because their landlord is lying on the floor, and both of his hands have been cut off. Seeing the landlord in such a horrible condition, everyone quickly leaves the house. But Tim notices the landlord's phone lying nearby. When he checks it, he finds several photos of the same black wall. This means the landlord himself had become trapped inside and had lost his life while trying to find a way out. The group then returns to their original plan and continues working on it. Just then, Olivia notices a newspaper article about a fire that had broken out at Harvard. Earlier that day, they had seen several helicopters flying toward Harvard. Tim begins to suspect that there must be some connection between the black wall and the fire at Harvard. Meanwhile, Gale has been breaking the floor for several hours. Suddenly, the floor collapses, and both Gale and Tim fall straight through it. Fortunately, they survive the fall. After some time, they regain consciousness. Grandpa is afraid to go downstairs with the others, so he tells Leah to go alone. But Leah doesn't want to leave her grandfather behind. So she puts Grandpa's oxygen tank into a bag and takes him downstairs with her. Just then, a strange man appears from inside. He introduces himself as Yuri and claims that he is a close friend of Andre, who used to live in that house. Olivia asks Yuri about Andre. Yuri then takes them to Andre, who is already dead. Yuri explains that 2 days earlier, Andre had been standing near the black wall when he suddenly collapsed. By the time Yuri reached him, Andre had already stopped breathing. Olivia begins to suspect Yuri because he had strongly opposed their plan to go from the basement into the tunnel. Yuri believed that deadly radiation had already spread outside and that the black wall had been installed to protect them. But no one pays much attention to what Yuri says, and they continue digging. Meanwhile, Leah discovers a large number of papers in Andre's room. The papers contain research about the black wall. It appears that Andre had actually found a way to escape through the wall. However, Yuri distracts them and secretly rolls up the papers and throws them away. On the other side, the group finally reaches the basement. Now, they only need to open the last metal door. Beyond it should be the tunnel that could lead them outside. Olivia begins smashing the door with a hammer. But when the door finally opens, Yuri, who has been watching everything from upstairs, suddenly gets a strange smile on his face. Because behind the door, they find the same black wall again. Seeing the wall once more, Gale loses control. He grabs Grandpa's gun and starts firing repeatedly at it. But every bullet stops in midair just before reaching the wall. Him knows what happens when any metal object gets too close to the wall, so he immediately tells everyone to get down. But Grandpa can't get down in time. The bullets pass straight through him, and Grandpa dies right there. Now everyone is left wondering why all of this is happening to them. Then Anna reveals that when she was a child, she had actually been clinically dead for 2 minutes. She asks the others if they have ever experienced anything similar. Leah tells them that her mother died of cancer 2 years earlier. Yuri then reveals that he used to be a police officer, and during his time in the force, he had killed several people. On the other hand, Tim didn't want to tell everyone about his wife's miscarriage. But Olivia reveals it to everyone anyway, which makes Tim furious, and he walks away. However, there was no point in fighting with each other at a time like this, so Tim comes back and tells everyone that they should search the landlord's house because they might find a clue there that could help them escape. Tim, Gale, and Anna begin searching the landlord's house. Meanwhile, Olivia and Leah examine Andre's research papers. Olivia suddenly notices that one particular spot on the paper has been marked, the exact location where the magnetic field is strongest. Meanwhile, Tim enters one of the rooms and notices that it seems smaller than the other room. He lightly knocks on the wall, and hears a hollow sound coming from inside. He realizes that there must be another room hidden behind the wall. At the same time, Gale finds a strange remote control. But it has 10 numbers on it, meaning they would have to try millions of possible combinations to figure out the password. Then Tim gets an idea. He sprinkles flour over the buttons of the remote, revealing 4 numbers that have been used more frequently. Now they only need to figure out the correct order. Tim starts entering the numbers one by one, and on his third attempt, a hidden entrance opens inside the room. Tim and Gale go inside and discover several monitors showing live CCTV footage from every room in the building. Soon, the others join them. Tim plays the recording from 3 nights earlier. They are shocked to discover that the black wall is actually made up of nanobots. During the night, the nanobots had spread around the entire building like dust, forming the mysterious black wall. Meanwhile, Leah is still inside Andre's room. She walks over to Andre and removes the red cloth wrapped around his neck. She then notices rope marks around his neck. At the same time, the others watch the CCTV footage and discover that Andre had actually collapsed outside his bedroom. But Yuri had told them that Andre had collapsed inside his bedroom. Olivia turns around to question Yuri, but Yuri is nowhere to be found. Gale immediately goes looking for him. The others stay behind and continue examining the CCTV footage. When they watch the footage from just before Andre's death, they notice a strange pattern of lights coming from Andre's door. Tim realizes that Andre had actually managed to find a way to open the wall. Then they see something on the CCTV footage that makes their blood run cold. Yuri, who had been staying with them and pretending to be innocent all this time, was actually the one who killed Andre. Andre had wanted to escape from the building, and Yuri had killed him to stop him. Meanwhile, Gale reaches Andre's room while searching for Yuri. He finds Yuri burning the papers containing Andre's research about how to open the wall. Then Gale notices Leah lying on the floor. She is already dead, and Yuri was the one who killed her too. Tim immediately grabs the gun and rushes toward Yuri. But Yuri has already grabbed Gale and begins attacking him. Just then, Tim arrives and points the gun at Yuri. Yuri releases Gale and tries to take the gun away from Tim. But Gale and Tim work together, knock Yuri unconscious, and tie him to a chair. Meanwhile, Olivia sits beside Leah's body, mourning her death. Anna comes over and asks Olivia why Yuri would specifically kill Leah. Olivia explains that Leah had probably discovered something that Andre already knew. She may have figured out how to open the wall by studying Andre's research papers. That was probably why Yuri killed her. But now they no longer have the papers because Yuri has burned them all. Just then, Anna notices the CCTV camera above them. She decides to use the CCTV footage to find out what was written on the papers before they were destroyed. Meanwhile, Olivia, Tim, and Gale begin questioning Yuri and force him to reveal the truth. Tim asks Yuri about the black wall. Yuri explains that the wall is actually part of an emergency defense system. Whenever a world war breaks out or deadly radiation begins spreading across the world, the system is designed to activate automatically. However, a few days earlier, a massive fire had broken out at Harvard. The wall surrounding their entire building had also been created by Harvard. Andre worked at Harvard, and he had been trying to open the wall and escape. This means the wall had not activated because of a world war or radioactive contamination. It had accidentally been activated because of the fire at Harvard. But Yuri simply couldn't believe that explanation. Just then, Anna calls everyone into the CCTV room. They watch the footage from before Andre's death. Tim, who works as a game programmer, notices that Andre had created a special program on his phone to interact with the wall. Tim immediately asks them to bring Andre's damaged phone. After doing some programming, Tim manages to transfer all the data from the broken phone onto another phone. Then the 3 of them take the phone and approach the black wall. When Tim scans the wall using the phone, 4 square-shaped markings suddenly appear on it. Olivia tells Tim to press the 4 squares one by one. When Tim presses all 4 squares, the wall suddenly starts moving. It begins transforming into something that looks like a portal. Seeing this, Anna walks toward the wall and puts her hand inside it. To her surprise, her hand passes through the wall easily. Just then, Gale comes over and tells Anna to pull her hand back out. But it is already too late. Anna's hand is now stuck inside the wall, and the wall slowly begins pulling her inside. Everyone grabs Anna and starts pulling her back. But then Olivia notices that the wall is slowly returning to its original form. They all pull Anna with all their strength, but eventually, the wall completely returns to normal, leaving half of Anna's body trapped inside it. Anna dies. After Anna's death, Gale completely loses control. Yuri starts laughing at Anna's death, which makes Gale furious. Gale shoots Yuri repeatedly and kills him. Then, overwhelmed by everything that has happened, Gale shoots himself and dies as well. Now, only Tim and Olivia are left alive. Before the black wall appeared, Tim and Olivia had argued with each other. But now that there is no one else left, the two forgive each other. They even dance together for a while. After that, Tim starts scanning the wall again, trying to understand the pattern of the squares. Olivia suddenly notices something. Whenever Tim presses one of the squares, a different light appears for each square. They go back and watch the CCTV footage. When Andre had previously opened the wall, they notice the exact same pattern of lights appearing on the footage. By comparing the footage, they finally figure out the correct pattern of the 4 squares. However, Yuri, whom they believed was dead, is actually still alive. When Tim approaches the wall and starts trying to open it, Yuri suddenly attacks him from behind and knocks him unconscious. Yuri then moves toward Olivia, intending to kill her too. But Tim regains consciousness just in time and pushes Yuri from above, knocking him down. However, Yuri is still determined to kill them. Tim and Olivia run into a room. Tim holds the door shut, trying to stop Yuri from getting inside, while Olivia begins pressing the squares in the correct pattern to open the wall. Even though Yuri is badly injured, he manages to grab Tim. Meanwhile, Olivia successfully opens the wall. Just as Yuri is about to kill Tim, Olivia grabs a hammer and strikes Yuri on the head, knocking him unconscious. She then helps Tim and the two of them make their way outside. But when they finally reach the outside, they discover that the black wall has completely surrounded the entire city. The two of them get into their car and drive away. And with that, the movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed this explanation, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more movie explanations.